Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Today, we're discussing a 2015 upgrade of a watch originally launched in 2013. The 2013 launch was the Nomos Glashütte Lambda. This is the Lambda Deep Blue Gold, 42 millimeters in white gold. This is Nomos' richest product and most expensive watch. Taking a quick look, you can see 42 millimeters makes it large for a dress watch, but it wears smaller than that. All in white gold, it's 9.3 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip. It's a broad 51.6 millimeters, and it has a burly 22 millimeter spacing between the lug horns, so it has a nice broad modern stance. So while the look is minimal, maybe even slightly classical, it's very much a modern watch. You're going to need a wrist of 15 centimeters circumference or larger to wear this watch. My wrist shown here is 16 centimeters. It is a thin thing, though, easily sliding underneath the cuff. It is a true dress watch, even if it's maybe a bit sportier in ambiance than a traditional dress watch. Shell cordovan straps. Roland Schwertner is not a watchmaker, but the founder of Nomos had one request to his design team: make sure that the watches ship on shell cordovan straps. So what you're looking at is actually a seamless horse leather. And you can see on the reverse side, Nomos Glashütte, a more rustic treatment of leather on the bottom. Shell cordovan, genuine Horween from the Horween Leather Company, albeit handmade in Germany. The leather is thick and it's bolstered with some internal stuffing, so that bolstering or stuffing gives it thickness. There's a monotone stitch and then a folded edge, though you can see the seams coming together on the edge, showing you the layers of material. It is a very supple and slick feel. It's not over tanned. You can still feel some of the natural pores of the original hide, but it's definitely a sleeker look with its semi-reflective shine than you get on conventional calfskin. Now we have here a buckle to match the watch. It's polished, it's counterweight, it's sort of like a clevis style, and it's made of white gold. Like the watch, it's rather minimal. You can see that the lugs are in vintage fashion, struck out dramatically from the case. They're broken out dramatically from the case, so they have their own arcing sculptural form. We have a broad, polished, saucer-like case that's quite narrow with a minimalist domed bezel, and then a rather dramatic sapphire that has quite a bit of camber. So this is a little bit of a vintage look, almost like a plexiglass. Branding is minimal with Nomos. You can see the crown is branded Nomos, the buckle is branded Nomos, and of course we have our branding on the dial side, but everything about this watch is muted, right down to the multi-layer lacquered dial. Now the main thing about lacquer is that I would say 99 times out of 100, lacquer is executed with a gloss finish. What we have here on this deep blue lacquer is a little bit more of a matte granular finish. It's different, it's intriguing, and it draws you in. The watch is made in Germany, in Glashütte, a traditional watchmaking, glass blowing, and silversmithing craft town in eastern Germany in the state of Saxony. You can see that even the hands here are as minimal as can be, needle-like, a combination of a small seconds display down at 6 o'clock, and then you have your hours and your minutes with a beautifully elongated minutes hand, and then an enormous 84-hour power reserve indicator. So you can see as I wind the watch, that power reserve indicator advances rather quickly. Lambda, a Greek character traditionally associated with high inherent value, is the namesake of Nomos' richest watch, and nowhere does the richness express itself more than on the case back, where we have the DUW 1001. This is really the only Nomos movement that will draw comparisons to another famous Glashütte watchmaker, A. Lange & Söhne. And that is the idea here. Manual wind with the power reserve indicator. It has the 84-hour power reserve. It has a hacking seconds function. It has the power reserve display and twin barrels to drive it. So you get that 84-hour power reserve via twin barrels. So not only do you get a longer reserve, but you get a more even torque release. So this watch doesn't suffer the big 24 and 36-hour amplitude drop-off that you typically get even with long power reserve single barrel movements. Now it beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It pivots on 29 joules. All this is water resistant down to 30 meters. But aside from the exceptional power reserve, what you're paying for here is a movement that is the most elaborately decorated from Nomos and designed specifically to fit a case. Most Nomos watches use existing Nomos movements. It's rare that they design a movement just for a case, and that's what we have here. So even though though this is a 42mm watch, it has a movement that perfectly fills the case back. You could see radiating out from the crown wheel, we have a Côte de Soleil or sunburst. We'll call them stripes because we're in Glashütte, not in Switzerland. We have a combination of black polished swan's neck and black polished screws and kiln-fired oxidized blued screws. We also have a handsome anglage on the edge of the three-quarter style bridge, which is itself pocket watch inspired, as well as on the edge of the balance cock. Now, if you look carefully, you can see that the balance cock here has been hand engraved, and I believe it says made with love in Glashütte. This is another element that's a bit of a tribute to Lange in the modern era, but no two of these are exactly alike because it is done manually. And of course, we have pivot jewels set in golden chaton, a nod to the pocket watch era, when it was not possible to reliably press jewels directly into bridges and plates with precision. So they would be set in golden chaton that were precision manufactured, and those would be fixed into the bridges and plates using the screw-fixed chaton. Today, they're just nostalgic and beautiful, although it is said that they add some shock resistance to a watch in addition. And then there's engine-turned perlage on the base plate. It is all quite attractive and beautifully hand-wrought. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of Nomos' richest and most expensive model.